Hello everyone and welcome to Midpoint Security video tutorials. In this tutorial I will show how to configure and prepare a MuSDO device for CredoID software. For this tutorial I will use CCSS7100 MuSDO controller and CCSS4010 RGB keypad. To be able to configure MuSDO devices correctly and efficiently, MuSDO configuration software WinCCS is required, as most configurations are done through this software. And therefore, in this video, I will cover up the process of MuSDO configurations before connecting it to CredoID software. First configuration process is done through MuSDO keypad. Firstly, installer code needs to be enabled, which will allow access to a massive menu where administrative and network settings can be configured. To do so, press the Enter button located on the right side of the keypad. This will ask for a PIN number. Enter user login PIN number 1234. This will bring up a user menu. Click on left or right buttons to find access options. Then select installer code, and in here activate the installer code. After that is done, click back to get to the starting screen. Click enter again and enter the installer code pin 9876. This will bring up a massive menu. Find the Communications menu and then select LAN settings. In here, WAN and LAN settings can be configured. It is recommended to use WAN port to connect to outside software such as WinCCS and CredoID, while LAN port should be used for connected modules. To configure WAN settings, choose LAN 1 settings, and to configure LAN settings, select LAN 2 settings. I already have WAN settings configured and connected to my PC for this tutorial. Note that after network configurations, it is advised to restart the device for settings to save correctly. To do so, either power off the device manually and turn it back on, or in the massive menu, find the installer menu, and then select Restart System. That is all for MuSDO configuration using the keypad. Although there are many configurations that can be done through it, it is a lot more easier to configure MuSDO devices through WinCCS software. Alright, launch WinCCS and log in with the default logins, which are username administrator and password 123456. This is the standard WinCCS menu window for adding devices and to connect to them. Firstly, groups and locations has to be created and configured. To create a group, either click on Customer Groups and then select Add, or in the list panel, right-click, Add, and then Customer Groups. After that, locations aka devices has to be added to the group. Either click Locations and then select Add, or right-click on the Customer Group, Add, and then Locations. Select the created location and configure its IP and MAC address. Then select the MuSDO device type. Click OK to save the settings. Double-click on the location to get to the device's configuration window. In here, pre-configurations can be made and then saved for future uploads, though not all settings are available, not until the device is fully connected with the software. Now, if the device and settings are configured correctly, you should be able to connect to it. To do so, click Connect button and then Network. If you want to override the device settings with the pre-configured settings, click Yes. If you don't need to, click No. Type in the installer code, which is 9876. and then click OK. The software will download the settings from the device. On the top right corner, the green bar indicates a successful connection. Now further configurations can be made to the device. I will go through the most important settings for this tutorials. That is the System tab, Areas, Keypads, Inputs, and Tampers. Firstly, I will review the Systems tab. On Configuration sub-tab, it's possible to change master and installer code, configure system delay times and keypad lockout times, as well as enable or disable external accesses. Few important changes needs to be made in here. It is to set the correct time zone, and to configure flash password, which is required when connecting the device to CredoID. On Alarm TX selection and Options subtab, additional settings can be enabled or disabled, and on Communication subtab, network settings can be configured. Moving on to Areas tab. In here, security areas can be created, modified, or removed. To create a security area, click New, and to remove a selected security area, click Delete and then Yes. There's a limit to how many security areas a device can hold. This depends on the device specifications. On Configuration subtab, it's possible to configure entry-exit delays for functions such as arm and disarm, as well as timers and limits. On Options subtab, additional settings can be enabled or disabled. On Keypads tab, settings can be changed for the connected keypads. On Configuration subtab, function keys functionality can be changed. Security areas can be assigned to the keypads. This determines which security areas the keypad will be able to control and receive data from. Buzzer areas determine areas which will activate the keypad's buzzer after an alarm is received. Also, it is possible to open a virtual keypad which is connected to the physical one. This is a great tool as this gives an ability to operate all keypads from the system. On Options subtab, additional settings can be enabled or disabled. On Color subtab, keypad's LED settings can be changed, and on Sound subtab, buzzer settings can be changed. On Inputs tab, all of the device inputs, or in other words, zones, are configured. The amount of inputs that are possible to configure depends on the device specifications. Most important settings on the Configuration subtab are Zone Type, Zone Configuration Type, and security areas it belongs to for each input. On Options subtab, additional settings can be enabled or disabled. Lastly, Tempers tab. When the system is fully installed and active, be sure that the Active checkbox is enabled. Disabling it would make the system unsecure. It is only advised to disable it for testing purposes. After all configurations are done, click Save to send all data to MuSDO device. You can also save the configurations on your system for future use by clicking Save right here and saving it on your computer. After everything is done, disconnect the device from WinCCS software. MuSDO device is configured and it is ready to be connected to CredoID software, which will be covered on part 2 of this video. For more information on the MuSDO devices and CredoID, please read the video's description. If you have any questions, please contact us at support@midpointsecurity.com. Thank you for watching.